Evening, gentlemen. How's it going?
Site.
Doing well.
Today we're going to be taking a look at a title called Bat Boy, which is not in any way related to Batman.
Well, yeah, because he's a boy.
Oh, he's actually got a baseball bat. Okay, I see.
What this game is a 2D platformer where you play as a high school student who, along with your friends, dress up in sports-themed apparel to fight crime, naturally.
Yeah.
Definitely sounds like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles concept.
So, at the beginning of it, you get called by your best friend of this group to a meeting at the school, in which time a evil sorcerer reveals themselves, abducts all of your friends by freezing them, and you chase after them through a portal in order to save your friends. I have cut out the vast majority of the story here, just keeping some of the beginning here so you can see kind of like the retro style graphics that they have for the cutscenes. Not that there's a lot of those. And now I've skipped to the first level of the actual game, where you can actually see, again, very retro pixel art style, moves very smoothly, and it actually handles the way that it looks.
The concept is definitely very beat 'em up, but yeah, it just looks like a platformer.
The intro screen there when it showed the level kind of reminded me of Sonic, actually. Interesting.
How so?
Oh, just the way it came in kind of angular with the splash screen. Just reminded me of where it says Green Hills Zone and stuff, right?
Okay. So the idea here is that you have a baseball bat. You can use it to hit enemies. You can use it to hit projectiles back at the enemies. But if you actually attack before you make contact with these obstacles or enemies, you almost have a Scrooge McDuck cane bounce from the DuckTales games.
You know what it looks most like?
What's that?
It looks most like Shovel Knight, I think.
Well, that's the similar style of game that they're going for. And you'll find that a lot of the times things like collectibles, puzzles, enemies will be out of reach and require you to utilize this ability to bounce in order to reach them. As you see with the
you just did it there.
Now, after the first level, you do get an overworld map, very reminiscent to say Mario 3 that you can explore. It is covered by cloud and it uncovers gradually as you beat levels. It's pretty basically there for graphics because at any time you're only really going to have 2 new levels to go to at any time. It's not there's not really a lot of choice. But there is some shops that you can use the collectibles that you're getting in the levels to upgrade your health and your stamina. So collectibles actually have a purpose. Each level has 3 collectible seeds. 1 you have to purchase from a hidden vendor, and then 2 that are hidden in the level, and a cassette. And the cassette actually just unlocks a song at the tavern for the sound test thing.
Okay.
Turtles.
It's a really interesting color palette. It's the yellow on blue is so... It's slightly disorienting, actually.
It's kind of a Castlevania-ish thing, so...
Yeah.
It looks almost more like a horror palette, I guess, than a uplifting baseball game palette.
Not that it's bad. I mean, I like the animations and stuff.
It's not supposed to be uplifting, but I will say this. No 2 levels have the same level aesthetic. There's a lava level, there's a ghost house level, a snow level. So there are 12 different missions in the game. They are decent length with multiple checkpoints, but none of them are the same. So if there's one that you don't particularly like there's one level that's kind of like a factory type setting, nuts and bolts, that I hated. But it's just one level, and then you'll move on to something different.
Yeah.
Are there power-ups in this?
Yeah, so after every boss that you defeat, you'll gain a new ability. The first boss that you get lets you throw your bat, and it will actually spin for a second where it is. It will be able to do damage from a distance, or you can actually use it as a platform. Throw it, and then bounce off of it to get a little extra height. You'll get different things like a dash, the ability to throw a basketball, which can bounce over spikes and things like that, which you can also bounce off of. a bubble for breathing underwater. Every boss will give you a new ability that you can, in some cases, go back and find some like items in previous levels, but most likely progress further in the game.
Okay, makes sense.
So there's just an example. You have some directional hits with the bat. So in that case, you can hold up and actually
aim it. Okay.
Aim it. And in the same vein here, I miss it at this point, but there is a lever at the bottom there that you can also move down to, which would give you some gems as well.
Right. So you said it's 12 levels?
Yes, there's 12 levels, and they're, like I said, fairly lengthy.
I can definitely see the opportunity for a lot of sort of puzzle-ish things for finding secrets and stuff.
Yeah, there was a few levels that I had to replay a handful of times to find the collectibles. Like, there's a collectible to the left there you can use with a grappling hook that you unlock later in the game to climb up and get. And then there was some that I wasn't even missing the ability. It was just well hidden in the landscape, or a breakable block, or just something that I just failed to reach. So this is the first boss. It's the only one that you kind of repeat. The thing is very much like Mega Man. The ability that you unlock from the boss is one that it will use in the fight. So you're going to actually see the ability on this boss where he throws his bat, and you can learn that from him after you defeat him.
Oh, yeah. Totally throwing it.
All right, so as we kind of close out here slowly with the boss fight, and every boss fight has different mechanics, do you guys continue after the first opinions?
Yeah, I think I would. As I said at the start, it looks kind of Shovel Knight-y. I don't usually like these kinds of games, but Shovel Knight was a rare one that I really liked, and it looks even more like that now that you've gone through it. So yeah, I think I would play this through.
Same goes for me, actually. I really like the style of the game, even if the color palette is a little bit strange in this level. I'm sure it's probably fine in other ones, and there's enough variety and stuff like that. I like what they got going.
I definitely would continue, as I did. I've put probably 10-ish hours into the game. I've gotten the platinum, which is to get all of the collectibles, find all of the unlockables, and I had an absolute blast doing it. I said I had to replay levels multiple times to get all the collectibles. I never felt like I was suffering as a result. I enjoyed it. I liked the challenge, minus the one level nuts and bolts, which I absolutely hated and I wish wasn't in the game. But you're going to get that sometimes, and luckily I did manage to finish that level with very minimal attempts. So 3 of us agree that this is a continue after the first opinion.
Hey, did you like that video? If you did, be sure to let us know by clicking the like button and leaving a comment. If you want to be first in line for any new content, be sure to subscribe to our channel, and then hit up our Facebook page. The link's in the description below to see what's coming up next.